Water in the house.
Where's my coffee? Where's my coffee?
Hi,
Right?
Mr. Rieger.
What's up, Candy?
It's great to see you. I'm excited.
You as well. You were on my list. I know we were texting. I'm in Texas next week. But
Yeah.
the following week, I'm going to reach out to you to ensure you and I get some dinner.
Sounds awesome.
Hello, Amy, Hannah. We got the dream team here from Western today.
Super awesome. David's joining us. I see Dustin on. Barbara's in the house. Tom Evans, Amy Brown. This is super awesome, you guys. Thanks for joining. We're going to give it maybe a couple extra minutes, see if others are pouring in here. We're at 102, and then we will get launched and get right into it. Trust me, you will not be disappointed today. We have so much value to offer, and we're so excited to be with the Rieger team. So give it another 20 seconds or so for others to join on, and then we will rock and roll, okay? Everybody ready to rock and roll? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready.
Yeah.
Sweet. Love it, love it, love it.
And as you guys kind of pour in, if you guys can have your cameras on, that would be fantastic. We're going to do a lot of interacting. So the more that you guys can all show your beautiful faces, that would be great. Nice. Thank you,
Cool.
Amy.
Amy Brown, good to see you.
I'm eating my lunch.
Well, now that's not fair. Now we're going to be hungry.
Yeah.
It is that time, isn't it? It's that time. Okay, everybody ready to rock and roll?
I think we should go.
Okay, let's go. Good afternoon, everyone. It is super exciting to be with you today. Welcome to Western Title's Mastermind event. We are joined by our sales team, myself, Hannah, Amy, Carlene. We want to extend a super welcome, Western welcome to you this afternoon. This is going to be great. If you are on this webinar, it is because we want to recognize you for your contribution to the real estate community. It is because you are the best of the best in terms of volume and production, and we want to commend you and offer our congratulations. This next hour will be filled with nonstop ideas and real estate strategies that will help you in this completely insane market that we're in right now, right? So without further ado, I'm so happy to be with the Rieger team. So Craig Rieger is with us today. He's a top producing agent as well as a coach. And I'm going to turn it over to Katie, who is going to introduce Craig to us.
Hey guys, I know we're anticipating a larger group. I think we're having some issues with the link, so we're going to record this. And so if you guys have any questions, we'll send this out to you. We're going to go through a lot of materials, scripts, great stuff that you guys can implement immediately. So you don't have to take super thorough notes. I'll make sure to send that out to you guys. But we do want to make sure that you guys know that we're here because Western Title reached out and said, you know, we want to bring massive value to our clients. We are the knowledge. We want to be the source of knowledge for them. So we got you guys Craig Rieger. He has his team up in Portland. We are all in your backyard, by the way. I'm in Eugene, Matt's in Salem. Craig's out of Portland. We love Bend a ton, so it's great to be here with you guys. But Craig up in Portland did over 120 million in sales volume. He has been a owner of multiple brokerages all up and down I-5. I love that I can say I-5 because you guys are local. He's been a regional director in charge of tens of hundreds of real estate brokerages as well as a coach. So he's done it all. And we've got some great material today just to kind of break down some local tricks going on for you guys. But really, we're here just to talk and to break down and to give you guys whatever topics you guys wanted to cover. So if you have questions about teams or structures or listings, whatever you want, we would love to turn off the slides and just go off tangent of whatever you guys choose. So if you're quiet, he'll talk the entire time, but we would prefer if you guys ask what do you want to get out of this? So let's break the ice right now. If you guys could just use the chat box and tell us what you guys had for lunch, that would be great. And we can go from there. So Craig, kick it off.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Kurt. Western Title, thank you guys so much for hosting us. To Amy, Barbara, Tom, David, Julia, maybe that's Dustin. My screen's got it blocked. We've been working with Western all week. What a phenomenal company. Interesting, today was slotted to be like the biggest event of like the most people, and whether it's Thursday afternoon and everybody's out selling homes or there was a glitch with the link, I'm actually kind of jazzed that I've got Amy, Barbara, Tom, David, Dustin, Julia, like the 6 of us could just rap. Like Candy Walker, get some food, my dear. The 6 of us could just rap. Like that's, to me, I have more fun like talking with a small group than teaching to 1,000 people. So totally up to you guys. I don't know if you're fully clothed or what your deal is, but feel free. Oh, there's Dustin. What's up, man? Feel free to turn on your cameras like Dustin just did, and we can have a cool conversation for the next 53 minutes. Yeah, because this is kind of intimate, which is not a bad thing, and maybe we can do more for you. But with that said, I do have some slides. I'll jump into those, interrupt me, ask questions, use that chat bar, and let's have fun. My only my biggest goal is I want you guys to leave this meeting with the ability to get more business. I want you to leave this meeting with a mindset of getting more business. Like that's what it comes down to. I recognize it's just 1 hour out of your life, but 1 hour is actually a tremendous amount of time with how busy all of you are in your local markets with the low inventory. I mean, I've got the numbers right here. It's like Redmond, Sisters, Prineville, Madras. It's like your guys' price points on average have gone up 100, 150,000 in every single market that you're working in. Your inventory in every single market is down somewhere between 50 to 75%, right? Market per market, like that's year over year, like March 4th of last year compared to March 4th of this year, there's 75% less inventory in all of your markets. Values have gone up 50 to 100,000 in each of your markets, in some cases more. So my point to that, like it's busy as hell and you're taking an hour with me. So let's make it productive. Let's get something out of it. I'm gonna dive into my slides, Katie. Do you have anything exciting you want to share while I work with technology here?
Yeah, who wants to sell me a house in Bend? Because you guys always have better weather. So you can put your contact information.
You should buy a house in Bend, Katie. That way you stop using mine.
I know.
My wife told me you texted her last night about it. I'm gonna start charging you. All right, so let's rock and roll. This is my mantra to the pandemic. This is actually my mantra to coaching in my life, but at no other time has it resonated more in the last 11 months. And this is a great book. If you haven't read it, I'd highly encourage you to pick it up on Amazon. It's Good to Great by Mr. Jim Collins. Greatness is not a function of circumstance. Ladies and gentlemen, do we have a lot of circumstances? Do you know anyone that's died in the last year? I had a family member pass away 4 months ago. That was horrible. Do you know anyone that's had COVID? My wife, my son, and my daughter had COVID over Christmas. Do you know anyone that's relocated? Do you know anyone in hospitality industry or some industry that's totally shut down because of the pandemic? Do you know anyone that's gone through a divorce? Holy moly, have I seen a lot of divorces. And a lot of them were predictable. It's like you see these people and maybe there's a little friction in their relationship and then they're stuck together for 9 months and can't leave their house. Guess what? Some people separated. There's been more circumstances in most of our lives and for most of our clients than any other point in our careers. There's always circumstances. When I'm with great leaders like Carlene and Candy Walker out of Washington and Curtis and working with great companies like Western Title, and you guys are closing what, 300, 500, 1,000 units a month? There's always circumstances. People lose their job on the day of closing. People go and buy a car the day before closing and their loan falls apart. Some lenders don't perform. Buyers have remorse. Houses burn down. People get in car accidents. Like we're just in a world where there's circumstances. And this last year, there's been more circumstances than ever before. Yes or no? It's yes.
Yeah.
Well, then Jim goes on to say, greatness, it turns out, is largely a matter of conscious choice and discipline. Conscious choice and discipline. So Amy, Dustin, thanks for being brave enough to show me your smiling faces. I camp on the mindset before I get to the strategy. What is our conscious choice? Right? Because we can sit around for like the next 8 hours. And I always feel like I might offend Western because they're such an amazing company when I use some vulgar language, but we can sit around and just bitch. Like, oh, I've had a bunch of clients that made offers at 20, 30, 50, 100,000 over asking and they lost. Like we can talk about that. My team talks about it. The agents I coach talk about it. There's no inventory. And the one house they liked had 7 offers. Like we could talk about that. But guys, that's a circumstance that we live in. Like there's low inventory and there's a lot of buyers. That's a circumstance. Or we can shift it to conscious choice. My conscious choice is, look at you guys turning your cameras on. Julian, Jennifer, welcome to the party. This is awesome. My conscious choice is that I'm going to be a listing agent. My conscious choice is I'm going to share with my family, my friends, my past clients, the people I go to church with, the parents in my daughter's soccer league. I'm going to share with anyone that will listen to me because I have a really cool message to share right now. Real estate has never been more valuable in the history of the world than it is today. Let me repeat that. Real estate, Candy, has never been more valuable in the history of the world than it is today. There has never been more offers on the average property, whether it's 1.6 million or 300,000. There's never been more buyers making offers on property in the history of real estate than there is today. Like, we've got like the coolest message on the planet to share. And my challenge to each of you with your conscious choices, are you sharing that? Right? If we're sitting here, what are we now at? Like 63 days into this year? Yeah. Carlene's shaking her head. She's like, yeah, we're about 63 days in this year. You know, February trips me up and only had 28 days. But if we look at that, how many times in the last 63 days have you reached out to your family, your friends, your past clients, and shared with them, hey, it's the greatest real estate market in the history of the world for sellers. And we get caught up on, well, Craig, I've got this seller, and they would sell, but they don't know where they want to go. Okay, well, then they're not a seller. They're a wannabe seller. But here's the reality. If we go and share that message with 5 people, 10 people, 25 people, 50 people, 300 people, 1,000 people, there will be a group in that group that does choose to sell now. And they don't care where they go. Maybe they'll move in with their parents. Maybe they'll move to a market that's slower. Maybe they'll rent. Like, maybe they'll get a tent and camp in the woods. Like, Ben's beautiful, Redmond's beautiful. I don't know. But there is a group within that group that's going to say, wow, my value's gone up. Well, let's look at Madras, for example. A year ago in Madras, your value was 270 on average. Today it's 336. Let's go over to Sisters. I like Sisters, Katie, because that's right by my house in Blackview. And in Sisters, the average home 1 year ago today was 659. And today, ladies and gentlemen, the average home is 800,000. Holy moly. There is a group within the group that just by hearing that messaging will literally say, well, I planned on selling next year, but knowing I paid $141,000 this year, I'm going to sell now. I don't care where I go. And that's what I love about partnering with great companies like Western Title. It's what I love about partnering with great sales representatives like Carlene, because they're not running around trying to give me a calendar. They're actually, where did I get these numbers from? I'm not a Madras expert. I'm not a Sisters expert. I called Carlene last week before this call, and I was like, hey, you're allowing me to talk to your group. Can you share with me exactly what's going on in that market? And most of us in our own markets, I can look out at my own sales team right now. They're out in that space. A lot of times, like, we just know it's a really hot market, but we're not leveraging our partnerships that we have with great companies like Western Title saying, hey, Carlene, would you mind every single week? Because would you guys all agree the market is changing week by week? Would you mind every single week sending me these numbers so I can update my database? So I can post on social media? So I can send a newsletter out to my family, friends, and past clients? Because if we share this message over and over and over, none of us are going to, right? Our conscious choice is go after listings, and none of us are going to be deprived of business, because if we share it's a great seller's market with everyone we know, we're going to attract more sellers into our world. Katie, Matt, I don't think the average person knows just how red hot it is. I was telling a group a few days ago, like, I went to dinner with really close, like literally our closest family friends. And the wife was so cute. She was like, Craig, I feel really bad. The receptionist at our office, I tried to get her to refer to you because I'm an active agent. I sell homes every day, mostly every day. And I tried to refer them to you. And they already had a friend in real estate. Anyway, Craig, like, I'm sorry about that, but I cannot believe she's made 3 offers in a row and she lost out on all 3 homes. This is what my closest friend is telling my wife and I at dinner. And they're like, wow, like, she was basically saying our friend must have picked the 3 hottest homes in Portland because they all had 5 offers. And her name's Carrie Howard. And I was like, Carrie, my dear, that is literally every single house in the state right now. If it is a good home and it is priced appropriately, every single property, more or less, is getting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 17 offers. That's just, you don't see values going in Redmond, Oregon from 415 to 588 in 1 year, unless there is a heck of a lot of multiple offers. Does that make sense? So it kind of dawned on me, like, the average consumer just feels like, well, everybody's heard of somebody that got in some crazy bidding war, but the average consumer is not aware. Matt, could you, there we go. The average consumer is not aware that the entire market, the entire country, every price point is in a bidding war. So we have if we make a conscious choice to share that message, I guarantee you'll be happy with your business in 30 days. Maybe you're happy with it now. I guarantee you'll be happier. Katie, what would you add to that?
You know, I keep thinking about my conversation when I was coaching a mega agent, and she's actually on a team and she loves working with buyers. And, you know, I kind of kept talking like Craig right now, where I was just like assuming she understood that you need to be focused on listings. And mind you, we just got done talking about like, we've seen these moments where what we focus on, just we draw the energy, right? Like we're all in sales on this call. We've seen it where when we write our goals down, or we think about it, or we focus on it, it just happens, whether we're actively doing it or your brain's doing it subconsciously. And, you know, we're going to push a little bit to just start only focusing on these listings because they are so scarce right now. And the more energy we put into that, the buyers will always show up. It was just funny to hear that yesterday, where she's like, no, I love buyers. They turn into sellers, Katie. I was like, right, but you can get a buyer anywhere. And it's our job as a coaching company is to get you guys balanced right now. And in this market, would you be happier to have 20 listings right now or 20 buyers? And knowing probably your market or anyone else across this country, buyers are taking 60, 70, 80 hours out of your day right now.
Maybe I would literally take 3 great listings over 25 great buyers. I'm not exaggerating.
Right.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Like I really would, because those 3 listings, I'm gonna have 3 very, very happy clients. What is today, Thursday? If I put 3 listings on the market today in all of your markets, I would bet a very large amount of money that by next Wednesday, all 3 listings are sold.
Yep.
And then guess what? Of those 3 listings, 2 of those clients are staying local. They want to buy a home. They just made a ton of money on their property. They just had bidding wars on their property. They know what to do to go and win. They're going to go and offer well above full price on it. They're going to win sooner or later as buyers. So I'll get 5 sales out of 3 listings all day long. If I have 20 buyers, I could run around this entire month writing offers. I'm not sure I'd win. And Katie, back to that to finish the quote and I'll move on. I've been camping for 17 minutes, but this is critical. It's the discipline. Right, conscious choice. I'm going to be a listing agent like I've never been before for the next 90 days of this year. And the next is the discipline. So when I talk about like getting out there to the world and sharing that messaging, great, you did it a week ago. Great, you might do it tomorrow, but are you going to do it on Monday? Will you do it again on Wednesday? Will you do it again on Friday? Will you do it again the following Monday? That's the discipline. That's the hard part. And I'm sure that I'm not the only salesperson on the planet who lacks discipline. Am I? Are you guys all really, really disciplined? Amy, are you super disciplined? Like most people go into sales because we love people, we love negotiating, we love the flexibility of being self-employed. Like we go into sales for these wonderful reasons. We love helping the consumer reach their goals of home ownership. Like we're in an amazing industry. Most of us, maybe Dustin's that one guy, but most of us, hey Dustin, most of us go into this industry and we're not like super disciplined, like super schedule oriented. So when I read this quote by Mr. Collins, I'm like, conscious choice, cool. I can complain about the low inventory or I can go and dominate listings. That is a conscious choice I can wake up with every day, yes or no. Now the discipline is, will I actually wake up with it every day or I just do it tomorrow and forget about it on Monday after the long weekend? That's up to you guys. Yeah, what do you think, Katie?
Disciplined, then I'd have a 6-pack because it's no different than our weight goals. We know every day if we did some crunches, we'd get to our goal, but we get sidetracked. And yet we expect the same results with our business. I lead gen for an hour for listings like 3 weeks ago and I don't have more sellers. It's like, right. You also can't do this, get a 6-pack by doing 40 crunches and then never doing them again. So we have to be consistent to get our goals.
Totally. Katie, I've lost all of you. That's the beauty of Zoom. Hold tight. Where'd you go? Keep going, Katie. You're bringing, oh, there you are. I found you. I want to show you guys something. Here we go. Here's Craig's email. This is scary. Who knows what's going to pop up? Can you guys all see that?
Yep.
All right, here's some touches. Kurt and Carlene, if you guys want, Katie can send you a copy of these and you can send these to everybody. As I shared on the production, as Katie shared, I have a personal sales team here in Portland, Oregon. I am a national coach. I do own a national coaching company. We'll talk a little bit more of that throughout today. But bottom line, we sell homes. And here's some examples of some touches that we've been sending out for the last 8 weeks of this year that have contributed. I don't know. I mean, I think we have 3 more listings hitting the market today. That's not horrible. So here's some touches. Here's Happy March. What's the date today, Katie? March 4th?
Yep.
Well, then clearly this touch has gone out last 3.5 days. Happy March. Hope you and your family made it through the ice storm, because we had a big ice storm here. You guys probably have icy conditions all the time. We're in Oregon. It snows like we're in Portland. It snows once every 3 years. A couple weeks ago without too much damage. Do you need help with anything? So we're giving some love. All right, let's move on to the meat of it. This year is flying by. It's already March. The real estate market remains super hot. Sellers, who am I advertising to, Katie?
Sellers.
Sellers continue to get tens of thousands over asking. I don't even live in your markets, but Western Title showed me that your sellers are getting tens of thousands over asking. You cannot go from 415 in Redmond, Oregon to 588 without somebody getting tens of thousands over asking. You cannot go in Prineville, Oregon from 345 to 400,000 without a bunch of somebodies getting 5, 10, 20,000 over asking. Is that fair? So these touches work in your market. This year is flying by. Sellers continue to get tens of thousands over asking price, and the buyers are still winning because rates are low. Whoa. Just last week, we did see a slight raise in rates. Be aware of that, So that was our touch on Monday. Here was our touch 2 or 3 weeks ago during Valentine's Day. We will say it again, which means we've already said it like 5 times this year. By the way, this is going to my sphere of influence, Candy. My sphere of influence is going to my family, my friends, my past clients, my sphere of influence. We will say it again. This market is insane. And we keep hearing about our sellers getting tens of thousands over asking with incredible terms. Here's what we've seen in just the last few days. So Katie, did I say, here's what I've sold? Nope. I said, here's what we have seen in our last few days. Southwest Portland, 26,000 over asking. Northwest Portland, 55 over asking. Lake Oswego, 16. You guys get the drill. Do you think my sphere of influence, reading what's happening in the cities that I work in, is going to drive a few of them to call me saying, holy moly, Craig, I was going to sell my home in October, but based on this, I may want to sell it now. You should come over.
Now you're getting this information because your team wrote these offers, your team did over. So some of these numbers could even be more drastic if you did a summary from your office. So you guys, if you're an independent agent, feel free to ask people like, hey, so that way you can say like, we have seen the average, price in Sisters is 50,000 over. So you guys can get this information locally. You can get it from your broker, or just by asking a couple of your friends in the industry if you don't have a team.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, Katie, because I think so often in business we get caught up in like, where exactly did you get that? Well, I got it because my buyer's agent got his butt kicked on that Northeast Portland home yesterday. We didn't win on that property. My clients offered 45 over and lost. So I feel like ethically I can say, hey, this house went at least 45 over asking because we lost at 45. Does that make sense? I'm not bragging saying I sold all these homes. These are just things I've heard from some credible people, and I put them on a sheet of paper. And then the wrap up. If you're thinking about waiting until spring or summer, so mind you, this was a touch 2.5 weeks ago, to make a move on your house, please understand you will be competing against far more sellers than you would be right now. Yes or no? Do more houses hit the market in June than they hit in February, March? Say yes. I think that's accurate. If you're considering a move, let's talk strategy. Give me a call. Bottom line, guys, if we were to send out these types of touches to your database every 2 weeks, would you sell more homes this year than you sold last year? For most of us, the answer is yes. For most of us, the answer is yes. Here's kind of the witness test that I'll ask each of you. Well, first off, let's start with this. If you don't mind, just put in the chat box how many years you've been a licensed real estate agent. How many years you've been a licensed real estate agent? Let's start with that. So let me hypothetically just believe that every one of you was a licensed real estate agent on March 4th of 2020, 1 year ago today. Are we on March 4th? I keep saying that. We better be. All right, March 4th, 2020, 1 year ago today. So Candy, here's the deal. You were my client in Portland, Oregon. It is March 4th, 2020, and you're my buyer, and I just gave you a big fat hug because I love you. I gave you a really pretty gift basket because I love you, and I just handed you a set of keys. And I said, welcome to your new home. So that was a year ago today. Yay, I got a commission, you got a house. Isn't that's our job, right? Everybody's happy. Here's the witness test, ladies and gentlemen. It has been 1 year today since you handed a buyer a set of keys. How many times have you talked to them? How many touches have you sent them? How many pop buys have you done to their house? And yes, you can do that in a pandemic and leave a gift at their house. Heck, you could leave a bottle of hand sanitizer at their house in a pandemic. And that's the question. If the answer to that is anything, in my professional opinion as a coach, doesn't mean I'm right, just my experience for coaching top agents around the country. If the answer to that is anything shy of 24, you're leaving money on the table. This industry is pretty amazing to me, right? It's, I don't know, Maddie, what are the stats, Matt? What percent, what are the NAR stats on client satisfaction?
Well, people that have purchased a home a second time, 9 out of 10 people said they've used their agent a second time.
Wait a second. No, you're close. What it is when somebody buys a home for the first time and NAR interviews 100,000 people, National Association of Realtors, and they say, hey, how did you feel about that experience? What do they say?
Said it's great.
9 out of 10 of them said, I had a great experience, Matt. I'll use my agent again. Yes or no?
Yes.
9 out of 10. As an industry, we're doing pretty damn good. That's all brands across the country. 9 out of 10 consumers at closing table said, hey, that was good. I'd use them again. Considering the complexities of buying and selling, I say good job. Like 9 out of 10 is pretty darn good. Okay, so let's go to the unfortunate other side of this equation. What percentage of consumers, Katie, actually use the same agent when they go to buy or sell that next home?
It drops down to about 12 to 17%.
Holy crud. How do we go, Carlene, from 9 out of 10 people saying, you're an awesome agent, I'll use you again, to 1 out of 10 actually use us again? What do you guys think went wrong?
We're not.
Follow up.
Yeah, we're not in front of our people.
We're not staying in touch. We lose relationship. They have kids that play in the soccer league, and one of the moms in the soccer league is a real estate agent. They build a stronger relationship with them than you, right? We lose relationship with them. And I think that's the saddest part of this industry, is that I kind of started out saying, we go into this because we love people. We go into this because we love negotiating. We go into this because we love the flexibility of our schedule. Most of us don't go into this industry because we love having a database and using it every single day. I mean, Kurt, you know where I'm coming from, right? Like, that's not like I'm so excited to go into real estate so I can have a database. That's not why we do it. But the reality is, if you want a consistent, profitable, growing business, if we use a database every single day, guess what? You'll have a consistent, profitable, growing business. I mean, I think of, and somebody's gonna like probably hex me for this, because like open houses. Open houses are a tremendous opportunity to grow your business. Would you all agree with that? Obviously, much more challenging in the last year during a pandemic. But open houses are a great way to grow our business. Is that fair? But Katie, let's talk about an open house. I'm going to go to a stranger's home and hang out there for 3 hours. I'm going to hope other strangers come through. Jennifer's like, where's he going with this? I'm going to hope other strangers come through. I'm going to hope those strangers give me their phone number and email address. And then I'm going to hope when I call those strangers, they'll meet with me and hire me. Yes or no? Is that not the premise of an open house?
Sums it up.
And it is a great form of lead generation. But here's my question to seasoned great agents like yourselves. Why would we go and convince a stranger to hire us when 9 out of 10 people, when surveyed, said, I'll use you again? Yet as an industry, only 1 out of 10 does, because we don't stay in communication with them. So I know I'm kind of beating this dead horse, but it's like, if the amazing Western Title would let me, I would teach an 8-hour class just on database. We actually call it data bank here at RCC Coaching, because like any great bank, when you deposit to it, you get a return.
Well, let's talk just fact numbers too, right? So if I were to collect people, what we call not mets, right? So open houses, or you don't know them very well, they wouldn't wave at you at Costco. So if you have leads, right? So if you have a whole bunch of people in your database that you don't know, which is always for some reason the first place that realtors typically go to. They want to buy leads, they want to do open houses, they want to do all these things that feel proactive. That is a 50-to-1 conversion rate if you stay in communication with them on a consistent basis for a year. So that means if I have 50 strangers, so I have to go find 50 strangers, which typically means I have to pay for them in some form or another, or I have to go find them and collect them at open houses, which takes my time, which costs money. I have to find 50 of them. Then I have to take care of them and nourish them for a year to get one of them to say, yes, I'd love to do business with you. Now, this is not an us stat. This is from NAR. Now, if we go back to our database with people who know, love, and trust us, that's a 6-to-1. And those are free because they're in your cell phone. You already know them. This is a cousin, friend, neighbor, someone you've done business with. So why are we not nurturing the people who want to support us and who love us at a much higher rate, which is 6 friends? Call 6 of your friends tomorrow, and one of them will say, I'd love to do business with you, or my neighbor's moving, or my cousin Susie, right? It's the same consistent for 1 year. You'll get an average conversion of 6-to-1. So where should we be spending our time right now when time is really valuable?
Yeah, I mean, Katie, you're amazing. And my summary of that last words, people you don't know that you market to, 1 out of 50 will do business with you. People you do know that you talk to, 6 out of 1 will do business with you or refer you business. That's pretty simple math. Julia's like, yeah, I'll turn my camera back on for that one. I like that. Should we give them some? I even got Jennifer to smile on that one. Should we give them some listing strategies, Katie?
Yes. You guys, before Craig goes into this one, this is gold. Get your pens out. I will send the template, but this is literally, we have been testing this one for a few months now. We've been giving it to all of our top clients across the country. It's worked in every market. This is the best, most valuable thing. I think you can hang up after this because it's going to be the best part of this entire class. So sorry, Craig.
No, that's all right. They can hang up. It's fine. Julia, that's great. Don't be sorry you took a call. We know how busy you are. I'm just glad you came back. So here's my goal. I'm going to give you 5 listing strategies, some of which you've heard, some of which you have not, in the next 27 minutes. How does that sound, Katie?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go with strategy 1. Strategy 1, Amy, Dustin, Jennifer, Debbie. I've got Bend, Oregon on here. I've got the entire city.
I was laughing at that. Yeah, all of Bend.
Bend, Oregon. To have this strategy work, you've got to go and find 1 listing. To have this strategy work, you have to go and find 1 listing. Your best friend, a past client, a for sale by owner, the person that sits by you in church 6 feet away. I don't care. Go and find 1 listing. So, Katie, you're my 1 listing. Yay, thank you for hiring me. I just showed up at your house. I gave you my presentation. You and your husband, Derek, said, oh, you're hired.
Excited to work with you, Craig.
I'm super excited to work with you, Katie. You have a great house. It is a great market, and I have great marketing. I'm excited to get started. Thank you so much.
Yeah, let's do it.
Katie, can I ask for your help? Like, the more I can do to market your home, the more offers I get you, the more money you make. Can I ask for a little bit of help from you?
Yeah, go for it.
Katie, it is not uncommon that the buyer of your house will come from the neighborhood. Especially in this COVID world, there is somebody that lives like 4 blocks away and they're going to see your sign go up, and their sister, they wanted to move in closer to them. There's somebody who lives in your neighborhood and their parents live in California, and because it's so difficult to travel with COVID, their parents might buy your house just to be able to spend 6 months a year closer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, here's what I do know, Katie. If I send them another just listed, just sold postcard, the odds of them actually responding to me are really slim. Every agent on the planet sends that kind of crap. Is that fair?
Yeah, I throw those out.
Yeah, so here's what I want, Katie. I want you to send them a letter. I want the return address to have your, like, 123 Main Street, Madras, Oregon. I want to have your return address. I want to say Katie DeWay. I want it to come from you. And here's what the letter is going to say. Hey, dear neighbors, we just put our house on the market. We listed with Craig Rieger with ABC Realty here in Madras. And if you know anyone who wants to buy my home, send them over. We'll have an open house this first weekend. And then it's signed Katie and Derek. Katie, if I print and type those letters, can I send that to your neighborhood?
Yeah, it sounds like I don't have to do anything. You're just using my address. Go for it.
Here's what you have to do. You have to throw away a handful of them because the ones that are bad addresses are going to come back to you. That's all.
Sounds good. I can do that.
Okay, now I'm going to call up my best friend at Western Title. That's Carlene. Ring, ring, Carlene.
Craig, how can I help you?
Oh my gosh, Carlene, you're my favorite title company. I love Western. How are you?
Oh, and we love you. Thanks for calling. I'm great. How are you?
She's really nice. I'm great, Carlene. I just listed a home. I got a rock and roll. The address is 123 Main Street in Prineville. Can you get me the nearest 100 neighbors to 123 Main Street, Prineville?
Absolutely. Would you like labels as well?
Oh, you can do that so I don't have to write anything?
Of course. I can have them to you today.
I appreciate you. Thanks, Carlene. I appreciate Western. Have a great day. Great. So now I get these labels. I write 1 letter. I make 100 copies of it. I stick the labels on. I stick the stamp. It's Katie's return address. I mean, Amy, don't you think if you're opening your mailbox and there's a bunch of stuff in there, the power bill, the electric bill, the credit card bill, and there's a letter from one of your neighbors with a return address on your street. Amy, would you open that up before your power bill?
Yeah.
I probably would.
Maybe.
Probably would.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'll tell you what, most of us will open a letter from our neighbor before we open anything else, most of the time. All right, so if I'm in Sisters, Oregon, and I list Katie's home in Sisters, Oregon, let's just say for $775,000, odds are pretty high with only 34 houses. Where did I get that number? Western Title. Odds are pretty high that with 34 houses on the market, if I put Katie's house on the market in Sisters, Oregon, I'll probably see some offers in the first week. Would you guys agree with that? Amy's like, yeah. I might even get multiple offers. Is that fair? Possibly. Possibly. All right, Katie, it's 1 week later. I'm back at your house. Katie, congratulations. Your 775 home. I just got you an offer for 800.
Ooh, thanks for making me extra money.
25K to be exact. Super strong, well qualified. In fact, we're paying cash.
Cool. Thank you. You are great. Best agent ever.
Well, you got a great house. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Are you happy?
I'm very happy.
Katie, can I get some help from you?
Yeah, anything you want.
Seriously, like I love your neighborhood and I would love to do more business on your streets. I could again go and brag to all your neighbors and be like, I got Katie and Derek 25,000 over asking. They're not going to care hearing from me. Would you mind if I write another letter from you? And here's what that letter is going to say. Dear neighbors, Katie and Derek here. With your help, we end up getting 2 offers and we sold our house at well above asking price. Thanks for the help. I promised my agent, Craig Rieger, if he did a great job, I'd recommend him to the neighborhood. If you have any desire to buy or sell a home, I would highly encourage you to interview Craig. We've enjoyed being your neighbor. We wish you well, Katie and Derek. Ladies and gentlemen, can you all agree if 100 of those go out to a neighborhood, 1 or 2 people are going to call you to sell their home? I guarantee it. Right? This is the beauty of I'm in production. Like we don't just make this stuff up. We do this on my own personal sales team. We coach this all around the country with the agents we're coaching. I think as of recent count or last year, I think we coached 30,000 agents, Katie?
Yeah.
There's agents doing this all over the country. For most of you, I would guarantee you've never heard of this concept before. You will show up at work 2 or 3 days later after that letter going out, Dustin, and someone's going to call you. It's like, hey, man, this is Bob. I just got your letter, or I got the Johnson's letter, and I need to sell my house. Do you want to come over? Julia, where's Julia? There she is. I'm glad you love it. What's your question, Julia?
She's just asking if you'll be able to share printable copies of something of these suggestions. So yeah, I have got a super basic template of this and I'll send, you guys can tailor to that per seller, you know, like I'm the one with the blue door on the corner and things like that. And then I'll send that process to you guys.
So Katie, why don't you and Matt put in your contact info in the chat box and they can just text or put in their contact info and you can send it to them direct. How does that sound?
Love it.
Is that okay with you, Kurt? Carlene? Perfect. Okay, that's 1. How many did I promise? 5?
Yep.
All right, here's the next one. Guys, this is from Carlene, my really good friend at Western Title. There's only 57 homes for sale as of yesterday in Redmond, 34 in Sisters, 33 in Prineville, and 26 in Madras. If I go to a year ago in Prineville, there was 100. You guys went from 100 actives to 33 actives in 12 months. And here's the reality, you still have a lot of listings, you're just freaking selling super fast. That's reality. People keep saying we have an inventory problem. No, you don't. Most of you have just as many houses hitting the market right now as you had hitting a year ago. The only difference is in Prineville, there were 77 more buyers. Make sense? There are actually probably 150 more buyers, 77 of the 151, which is why your inventory went from 133 in 12 months. Does that make sense? We don't have an inventory problem. We have an abundance of buyer problem, but that's an opportunity to sellers. Would you guys all agree with that? All right, here's strategy number 2.
Well, just to correct you, technically the emails that you showed us, I'll send screenshots of those too, to what you sent to your database. So we're technically on 3 right now.
Okay, 3, good. I need a freebie. We got plenty of time. Carlene, are you available? Can I give you a call?
Anytime. Absolutely.
Ring, Carlene. It's Craig Rieger. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for asking.
Good. Thank you so much at Western Title for always taking my call. I'm actually not good. I'm a wreck. I'm frustrated, I'm borderline pissed off, and I need your help.
You called the right person.
All of my buyers keep losing.
Well, how can I help?
I love my buyers. They're beautiful, beautiful critters. Like, I love them, but I need listings, Carlene, and I need your help because the market at the moment is being a listing agent, not a buyer's agent. That's probably
We want your listings.
You're good. I'm going to get you all my listings, but I need your help getting listings. So here's the first thing I need from you, Carlene. I need a list of everybody in Redmond, Oregon, who has lived in their home for anywhere from 8 to 15 years. Do you guys at Western Title have a back-end analytics to give me anyone that has owned a home anywhere between 8 to 15 years?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Could you email me that list?
Yes, I will get that to you today.
Could you send me mailing labels in case I want to mail them something?
Absolutely. Would you like them delivered to your office?
Yes, ma'am.
Done.
Here's the $1 million question is I might be brave enough to call them. Do you have phone numbers for them?
I do have access to tools to get you phone numbers, and I can refer you right now.
Oh, so that sounds like a company that you could refer me to where I could swipe my Visa and they could find me phone numbers. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
You know what? I will swipe my Visa to get listings right now. So let me see if I've got this straight. You're going to give me a list of people that have lived in their home between 8 to 15 years. You're going to deliver it to my office. You're going to give me mailing labels, and you're going to give me resource of who to call that can give me phone numbers if I'm brave enough to call these people.
And with our awesome customer service team, it will be ready in an hour.
And this is why I work with Western Title. I'm not kidding. That's why I work with them. It's literally that simple. Like, I have title companies calling me, it's like, do you want a counter? Like, no, I'll buy my own counter. I need a list of people to call to get listings. All right, so why, anybody know why I might target people that have owned their home for 8 to 15 years? Anybody want to take a gander at that one?
The average time that someone will live in their home.
You're not supposed to answer, Katie. You know all the answers.
You were so quiet.
Well, the average US citizen sells our house between 7 and 11 years. That's the stats right now. So if I'm shooting from 8 to 15, I'm hitting in that average. Does that make sense? Look, Jennifer is a friend. Like, who's this guy yelling in the computer? I got to check this out. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer's friend, like, oh my God, he sees me. And she just ran off. All right, yeah, the average US citizen sells our home somewhere after living in it 7 to 15 years. Right, or so 7 to 9 years, or somewhere in that demographic. So it's just target marketing. Okay, so now I'm just going to randomly call up that group. Amy, can I role play with you? Amy Burnham, can I role play with you? She's like, oh, that Amy? Yeah, it's that Amy. You're crushing. All right, Amy's out. Katie, you're in. Katie, you live in Madras, Oregon.
Okay.
And you've lived in your home for 11 years.
All right.
And I got all this info from Western. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Katie?
It is.
Katie, this is Craig Rieger. I'm a local real estate agent right here in Madras, Oregon. I'm with ABC Realty. You don't know me, and I just wanted to call and share really great news with you.
Okay, what's up?
Really great news. The average home in Madras 1 year ago today is worth $270, and the average home in Madras today is worth $336. The average home in 1 year has gone up $66,000 during a pandemic.
Wow, I had no idea.
And that includes your home because county records indicate you're a homeowner. Katie, knowing you've made another $66,000 in the last 12 months on your home, have you considered selling it before the market cools off?
Yeah, we were just thinking about downsizing.
I'm going to screw off.
Screw off.
Oh, you don't want to sell your home. Great. Have a good day. Ring, ring. Hey, Kurt, this is Craig Rieger. You don't know me, but I'm a local agent right here in Madras, Oregon. The reason I'm calling is that county records indicate that you've been in your property for about 10 years. And I just want to share good news with you. The average property in Madras has gone up $66,000 in the last 12 months. Knowing that you've made another $66,000, are you ready to sell?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Tell me to
Yes.
screw off. Because I'll call Julia, and I'll call Amy, and I'll call David, and I'll call Dustin, and I'll call Debbie, and I'll call Jody, and I'll call Tom. And I'll tell you what, by the time I make those calls, guess what somebody's going to say? You're telling me I made $66,000 in 12 months? And here's the reality. If they bought it 11 years ago, they probably made $260,000. They've just made 66 of it in the last 12 months. Somebody's going to, Hannah's like nodding her head. Hannah knows. Somebody's going to be like, yeah, I'll sell my property. So I realize this is a very brave approach, but at the end of the day, if I've exhausted, because where did we start at? At least 24 touches to our database, at least 24 touches to our database. So if I work that, and I haven't taken as many listings as I want to take to hit my business goals in the first quarter, then I could work with my friends at Western. Does that make sense? I mean, there's so many I could call. I could go totally crazy. I could call Carlene again. Ring, ring, Carlene. Ring, ring, Carlene.
Hi, Craig. Great to hear from you.
You know what? That last approach worked. Did you get like 3 new listing escrows?
I sure did. Thank you so much. We're so
Well,
excited to work with
I
you.
promised you, if you help me, I'll send you more business. I would not have done it if you didn't get me all of that info so quickly. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thanks for reaching out to us first, and we are more than happy to help. What's next?
First, you're the only people I'd call. I need your help again. I need it fast. Okay, here's what I need this time, Carlene. I want a list of every single person in Redmond that owns at least 3 homes. Do you think there's anyone in Redmond that owns 3 or more homes?
Absolutely.
Do you have the ability to find that list?
I sure do.
All right, send it to me, label, same dealio. I love and appreciate you. I'm gonna go and get some more listings. Have a good day.
Love you too. Bye.
Isn't that an easy conversation?
Yep.
You guys are looking at me like I'm nuts. I'm not kidding. I call Western Title every single week and have these conversations. All right, Katie, now you live in Redmond. Ring, ring.
Oh,
Katie, this is Craig Rieger. I'm a real estate agent of Redmond, Oregon with ABC Realty. You don't know me, but county records indicate that you own at least 3 properties in Redmond. Is that correct?
Yep, 3 of them are rentals and I own a 4th one, first one.
I want to say congratulations to you because the average property in Redmond in exactly the last 12 months went from 415 to 588. That's about $160,000. The average property in Redmond, Oregon has gone up $160,000 in 12 months during a bloody pandemic. Congratulations, you have made a ton of money on your rentals.
Wow, thank you.
Knowing that, ma'am, do you want to sell any of them?
No, I really like having them as rentals.
Okay, you're clearly a good investor. I've got a question for you. If I find a really good deal, do you want some more?
Yes, I'm always looking to add to my portfolio.
Okay, well, I'm not certain I'll find a good deal in this market, but if I do, I'll call you. Is that okay?
Yep.
What's your email address? I'd also want to email you.
Blah, 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 blah.
By the way, investors will give you their contact info because they appreciate your aggression. Does that make sense? So where do I put Katie's phone number and her email address, ladies and gentlemen?
Data bank?
Bank.
I put it in my data bank. Because here's a prediction, call me crazy. We will live in a world where houses don't go up $160,000 a year, yes or no? We will live in a world at some point in our lifetime where we wake up tomorrow and houses are worth less tomorrow than they are today, yes or no?
Sadly, that's the truth.
It's gonna happen. Then I get to call Katie, good news, I've got 100 good deals. Can I be your agent? Make sense? If you call people that own 3 or 4 or 5 homes in Redmond, Sisters, Prineville, Madras, and you share with them, okay, Redmond, your house has gone up 160, Sisters, you've gone up 141, Prineville, you've gone up 65, Madras, you've gone up 66. If you call and share those numbers that you can get from your friends at Western Title, do you think you'll get more listings tomorrow than you have today? Yeah. Or if you're not brave enough to call them, what did Carlene tell me? She said she'd give me mailing labels. I can write that out and mail it to them. Here's what I'll promise you. You will not get the same response that you'll get from calling, but there will be a group that responds back saying, hey, thanks for sending me that. I would like to interview you, Dustin, to sell my home. This stuff works. All right, so give me a thumbs up for the half dozen of you brave enough to have your cameras on. Is this some strategies that could work? Jennifer, that was fast. All right, Julia gave me a double thumbs up. Dustin's my man. Rent bows. What's a rent bow? I don't even know what that is, Katie. What's a rent bow?
Who here owns a rental? Anyone? All right, awesome. Dustin, where do you list your rentals? Nope, got on mute. We almost got this. There you go.
I use a property management company.
Okay.
You
So
are not a rent bow.
yep, you're not a rent bow. So a rent bow is someone who has rentals but lists them themselves, right? Just like a FSBO would list their own home. So rent bow, you'll see them listing on Zillow, Craigslist, and putting a sign in their front yard, right?
So Katie, basically Dustin's saying he's not a cheap ass like you and I are.
Yeah.
That's what Dustin's saying, because when we have our rentals, we're too cheap to hire a property management company, so we just rent them out ourselves, yes or no? Dustin said, you guys are rookies. I got a property management company. By the way, I applaud that, Dustin. That's great, right? That leverages you up to go and do more business. So Katie, you're right. All a rent bow is, it means that They're not hiring a professional to get their property rented. They bought an investment property. They're running ads on Craigslist. They're running ads on Zillow. They put a sign in the yard and they said, hey, come and rent my property. Do you guys have those in Redmond, Sisters, Prineville, and Madras, or is everyone like Dustin and uses property management? Of course you've got RentBos, yes?
Yep.
Jennifer, do you have RentBos in your market? All right. How do you find RentBos? Look on Zillow, look on Craigslist. It's super easy to identify a RentBo because their advertising's ugly because they didn't hire a property manager. You'll know it in a heartbeat. Ring, ring, Katie.
Hello.
By the way, any of these scripts you want, Katie can get to you. Ring, ring, Katie.
Hello.
Hey, Katie, my name's Craig Rieger. I'm a local real estate agent sitting here in Madras, Oregon. I saw you're renting the property at 123 Main Street. Has that rented out yet or is it still in the market?
No, it has not rented out yet.
Katie, the reason I'm calling is that Madras is on fire. The average property has gone up exactly $66,000 in the last 12 months. We're seeing multiple offers on 9 out of 10 listings, and there's only 25 houses on the market, excuse me, 26. There's only 26 houses in the entire market as of today. Katie, if I could get you multiple offers and way above full price, would you be a seller instead of a landlord?
No, I like to keep it as a rental.
Awesome. So what I'm hearing is you're a savvy investor.
Well, thank you. I am.
Awesome. Knowing that, if I find another good deal, do you want to add to your portfolio?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, well, I'm looking for good deals every day. Let me get your email address, a little bit more info, and I won't bug you, but if I stumble across one, I promise I'll call you. So ladies and gentlemen, again, what did I just add to my database or data bank?
An investor.
Proven. Underline that word. Hannah's nodding her head again. Hannah's with me. A proven investor. You want to know the scariest thing of being a broker owner is when my new agents come up, it's like, I've got a meeting with an investor, right? This new agents get trapped on this all the time. I'm like, oh, cool. How many houses do they own? Well, they don't own any. I was like, then you don't have a meeting with an investor. You have a meeting with a hopeful dreamer. Yes or no? And I hope that dreamer realizes his or her goals and gets an investment home. But Katie's calling somebody that's renting a property on Zillow. They are a proven investor. Does that make sense? Wouldn't you like to have a bunch of those in your database? But let's try it again. Why do I call it Carlene? Carlene, you own a couple rental properties. Ring, ring, Carlene.
It's Carlene.
Carlene, this is Craig Rieger. I'm with ABC Realty sitting here in Sisters, Oregon. You don't know me, but I saw your property you're renting out on 123 Main Street in Sisters. Is that rented or still available?
That is rented.
Oh, it's rented. Okay, great. You're supposed to say it's still available.
It's still available and or possible interest.
Okay, you got some people interested in it. Carlene, do not rent it out till you hear me out for 30 seconds. Is that fair? 30 seconds. Carlene, the average property in Sisters, Oregon in the last 12 months has gone from $659,000 to $800,000. I'm not great at math, Carlene, but I'm pretty sure that's $141,000 that the average property in Sisters, Oregon has increased in 12 months, $141,000. And it's still going up, Carlene. If you decided to sell it instead of renting it, I bet I can make you another 20 or 30 on top of that. So knowing that, would you rather sell or rent it?
Well, I actually live out of state, so I'd rather buy 2 more homes here.
Perfect.
So let's sell it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carlene, let's give Carlene a round of applause. She did way better than Katie. No, I'm just kidding. If I called up all of the RentBos in Redmond, Sisters, Prineville, Madras, would I have more listings by April 1st than I have on March 4th? Yes or no? It's brave. It's scary. Jennifer, it takes some work. It takes a little bit back-end due diligence. It takes a little back-end due diligence to find these phone numbers, right? And we can go back. I'm not shy. We can go back. We can go back to my quote. Uh-oh, maybe we can't. My slideshow is broken.
It's working.
It takes conscious choice. I will be a listing agent. It takes conscious choice. And you know what else it takes, ladies and gentlemen? It takes discipline. Because if I call RentBos one time, how many listings do you think I'll get, Matt? 0. If I call RentBos 3 times, how many listings do you think I'll get, Amy? 0. But if I call RentBos every single day for the next 30 days, I guarantee you I'll get 2, 3, or 4 listings by day 30 to 60. Maybe before if I get lucky. Does that make sense? So conscious choice and discipline, conscious choice and discipline. Katie, I think I gave them 5 strategies. We've got 4 minutes left. Is there any questions, any ahas? Anybody want to stump the chump? I'm the chump, by the way. What do you guys want to talk about for 4 minutes?
Well, while you guys are thinking of a question, I just want to point out the obvious here that none of this is salesy. None of this is like, how do we convince them to sell their house? And, you know, what do we say if they say this? You guys, you are the professionals. You got your information, whether you guys pull it from your team, your brokerage, or from Amazing Western Title. Get the information and become the local expert, right? And all of this is every single script, from the emails he sent to the just listed from the neighbor. Everything is just, you are the vehicle for information. You're not selling anything. This is just saying to your friends, your family, and your neighbors and people, hey, this is what's happening. Make an educated decision. So I love, you know, we're aggressive in our, you know, dedication to implementing it, but it's not aggressive to your clients. It's just saying, hey, these are the facts. What do you want to do with it?
Thank you for sharing that, Katie. People ask all the time, like, what if you call somebody they don't want to sell? Well, you wish them a happy spring. You don't make them sell. You're like, good for you. I'm glad you like your house. But here's why I know, call 100 people and you'll find 2 or 3 that want to sell. Does that make sense? There's no Jedi weird pitches here. It's just like, Dustin, you want to sell? Nope. David, you want to sell? Nope. Amy, you want to sell? Nope. Jennifer, you want to sell? Nope. Julie, do you want to sell? Maybe. Carlene, do you want to sell? Definitely. Cool. Julie is a long-term lead and Carlene's an appointment that I'll have on Saturday. It's just that simple.
You know, I just got off the phone right before this call, like 3 minutes before. Kurt was panicking. He was trying to call me, but I was on the call, I was on the phone. You know, I just got off with a major producer. It's a team of 2. And they heard this script about a month ago and they're like, yes, this is amazing. I want to do it. The just listed one, because that's new.
The letter,
right? We call that just listed with a twist because it's better than the postcards. It's a +1 on that, right? So I call him back up. We're talking today and I was like, cool. So how many listings did you get? And he's like, I didn't do it. I'm like, oh, super cool. So you loved it. You think it'll get you listings. We've proven that it will get you listings and you haven't done it yet. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, you ready to hire a coach? Because now I'm going to hold them accountable to do that. So you guys, we know you're trusted, amazing client or agents with the best intentions to do all of these things that we just talked about. And it typically takes someone to hold you accountable to do something. So we are running a coaching company, you guys. We have great coaches. They are all in production. The average is 50 million. So they're actually running a sales or a team at a really high level. And they only take on a couple clients each. And so all of these tactics they're actually using and they're coming up with their own versions as we go. So what's really nice is during the pandemic, you've had a mentor, a coach, someone every week to say, hey, I just did this new script, or I just did this new email to my database and it got me 3 appointments, 4 appointments. Why don't you just copy and paste and use it yourself? So our coaching is very aggressive in the sense that we just kind of hand you everything and then hold you accountable to it, of course, tailored to what your goals are. So if you want more balance or to grow a team, if you just want a vacation, that's our coach's goal, is to help you find how to do that. So you guys, all these strategies are great. They're kind of like gym, you know, weights at a gym. Unless you actually go, show up and have the intention to use them, they won't do anything for you.
It's really good, Katie. I've never heard that gym analogy. I like it. Yeah, at the end of the day, guys, you know, Western being a company I personally do business with asked me to come and share in your markets. And I hope we've given you some value for the last exactly 1 hour. With that said, we also do have a coaching company. We have clients all over the nation, and we are really, really, really good at what we do. We help people have more business. We help them have consistency. And for goodness sake, we help them have balance. Because I don't care. Somebody's like, I made 2 million. Yeah. Does your wife like you? Do you see your kids? Have you visited your mom? Do you have time to fish? Are you snowboarding? So we help people have big businesses, consistency, and balance. And if you'd like a no obligation free call to see if you're a fit for us and we're a fit for you, contact Miss Katie. Or contact info is there. Kurt, bring us home. Was there any questions, anything that pumped up on the chat box that I missed, or are we good, buddy?
Just double checking here, but I don't think we have any questions.
You guys were awesome. Thank you guys for showing up, and your energy was great. Having your cameras on, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Kurt, you're awesome. Western, you're awesome. Carlene, I may be selling my house in Sisters, so I'm going to call you for some resources of what agents, and I certainly know what title company I'll be closing with. And for all of you, I hope you do reach out to Katie and get a free coaching consultation. I hope you have some takeaways. I hope you have a powerful week. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.